Hey GMs, I am excited to start sharing stuff about game mastering, and I'm excited about the feedback that I've gotten. And I wish I could just dump 100 ideas out here because people are asking for so much. But you know, just like as a DM, we can only weave one scene at a time. We can only run one combat at a time. Life comes to us one day at a time. So here's our first one. Something's got to be first. So I was thinking, what should I talk about for the first one of these? And we have some great guests coming up too. So it's not just going to be me all the time. And you guys send me stuff, and we're going to talk about how to do this thing, this GMing thing. Whether you're pro, whether you're casual, we're going to have fun making something that's already fun more fun. So D&D and these other games are already fun. We're going to make them more fun. So the first idea that I have for you is what I hope is going to be a great relief to you, or like a de-stressor, because nobody likes a stressed DM. Stressed DMs tend to get cranky. Nobody likes a stressed DM. So let me take some of the stress off of you, if you're feeling any, by saying that you don't need everyone. And no one is perfect for everyone. I'm not perfect for everyone. Sure, there's a lot of people that enjoy my DMing style, but there's a lot of people that don't. Okay, so no one is perfect. You are not going to be perfect for everyone, but you don't need everyone either. There are more than enough people out there. Whether you are trying to run a casual game at your house, or find people to meet at the local game store, or college student union room. I used to run a pretty good game in a college student union room when I was a college kid. Or whether you're pro GMing or whether you're GMing online. There's more than enough people. Now, the thing is, there's a lot of different styles. There's different styles of GMing. There's different styles of playing. I have a certain style, and not everybody's going to appreciate what you do. A lot of people will, though. And those are the people you need to find. So one example of conflicting styles here is I'll just tell a story about a group that I did not fit in with, because they were going for a different experience than what I appreciate or how I typically play. Some of you who play MMOs, you may be familiar with the idea of an RP server on MMOs, where everything that everybody types and says in the game is always in character all the time. Unless they put this abbreviation OOC in front of it, which says out of character. So I played with a D&D group, and this particular D&D group, and actually they still refer to themselves as a D&D group because they were D&D back in the day, but they'd moved on to Pathfinder because they didn't like the edition that shall not be named. But they had moved on to Pathfinder. And but they still called it D&D. They still refer to themselves as a D&D group. And they continued on with D&D characters they had before the edition that shall not be named. But they were totally RP all the time. Never break character. Never break character. And I just didn't gel with that as well. To give you an example of how maybe, I didn't like, one of the things that I like to do in my DMing, I was a high school teacher for 14 years, is I'll use analogies. Teachers like to use analogies, and I'll use real life analogies to try to explain something in D&D. Especially when things get weird. Like the Tuesday Thursday game at Game Shop's basement right now is in the Planescape, out there in the plains, where there are just weird things. I mean, it's not just a medieval village with a dragon to go kill, and there's some dwarves and elves running around, and the village has a blacksmith, and there's an inn. In the plains, things get weird, and you have to try to describe all this almost psychedelic weirdness. When I'm describing weird sci-fi or fantasy things to people, I'll try to use real life analogies to try to explain. And a lot of people appreciate this. A lot of people are like, wow, okay, I get it. But then other people are like, oh no, don't talk about, 21st century things from real life. Don't talk about refrigerators or computers or the internet, or I don't talk about cars, because I don't want to break my immersion when you give these real life analogies. And there are different players, there's different DMs that do things differently. Now, this is just one example. The whole idea of complete RP immersion versus more casually playing like I like to do. There are other conflicts that you can probably think of between different styles of playing, different styles of GMing that don't go together. But you will find your crowd as a GM, and you don't need everyone. So as you continue to do this, just take the stress off. When I first started pro GMing, using the StartPlaying.Games booking platform, which we use at Game Shop's basement. And if you've taken our 7-day course on how to go pro GM, day 2 is where we teach about how to use StartPlaying.Games as a platform. And one of the techniques that I do is I do free session zeros. Well, with these free session zeros, the very first session zero I had, there were 4 people in there besides me. And 2 of them are players to this day. And the other 2, actually, one of them actually said, pretty much in these words as I remember, was like, this doesn't sound quite like it's for me. Something like that. Very, very nice. Nothing mean or anything. Just, I don't think this is for me. And so they, I've never saw them again. But I thought, hot diggity, I got 50% conversion. In any business, 50% conversion would be great. And so those 2 players are players to this day. And this is 3-4 months out now. So, because I started at the end of May and we're approaching September, so something like that. But you don't need everyone. And you couldn't DM for everyone anyway. I mean, there are millions of D&D players and players of other tabletop games. You don't need everyone. And not everyone would appreciate what you do anyway. You will find your crowd. And another reason why you're not ever going to appeal to everyone is, in case you haven't noticed, some people in the world are jerks. From 2017 to 2019, I was a full-time Uber driver for 2 years. And every once in a while, there was just a jerky person. It didn't happen too often. I was a full-time driver, so I might have 20 passengers a day, or if it was a Friday or a Saturday or something, or a holiday, I might have 30 passengers a day. And once every couple of weeks, there was maybe somebody who was rude or something. And out of 20 or 30 people a day, I discovered that most people are cool. Most people are, but there are a few jerks in the world. So you're not going to be totally pleasing to everyone. But you are going to find your crowd. And when you find your crowd, get that crowd together, things are going to rock. Okay, so that's it. You don't worry if not everyone likes you. I mean, I know that sounds like something that you should learn as a little kid in elementary school, but even though we get older and we become adults, we have feelings, and feelings still hurt, and we can still be sensitive, and we can still be critical, and we can still have doubts and question ourselves. Don't worry about it. You are going to find your group. And I can't wait till you do. And I can't wait till you tell me about it and how awesome it is. So, until next time, I'll see you in game.